All right, Harry, thanks. Up next, the latest survivor sent packing, Ruth Marie. She's going to give us the real dirt behind her departure. We'll be right back. Last night on Survivor, the Lamina tribe went to tribal council for the second time in a row. And in the end, the crumbling alliance of 5 wound up selling out one of its own members.
I'm thinking about our tribe here, man. We got to have our strongest team. And Sally's actually performed really well.
Austin came up to me and pitched voting off Ruth Marie instead of Sally. Ruth Marie was given a promise and a handshake by Dan alone. But since then, some things have changed. My goal was to come into the merge with numbers, and it's not looking good right now.
What do you think? Okay, I'm with you. You are? Sally's good.
I'm not walking around paranoid. I don't think it's me tonight. So Sally will be going home unless something turns that I don't know about.
Ruth Marie Milliman, good morning.
Good morning.
I thought you showed such class when you exited from tribal council. You said goodbye to everybody. And I mean, and these are the folks that stabbed you in the back.
I know it. I know it. It was a little bit shocking. I had about a 2-hour window where Dan had come to me to say, you know, oh my gosh, the vote has changed. And so I was trying to work Terry, and, you know, you're constantly trying to save yourself out there. So I had a little bit of window, but...
It's exhausting, isn't it?
It's exhausting. That's right.
All right, and speaking of Dan, I mean, he really had your back through and through. And this is our Survivor secret scene. I want you to take a look.
Okay,
all right, we'll talk about it in a moment.
I had a conversation with Dan just to get some reassurance on our alliance, and he told me that the 5 of us have a solid agreement no matter what.
I am 100% on your side. We made a deal, and we're sticking together.
To the end.
We're going to follow to the end. Money doesn't matter. The commitment's been made.
I agree.
If it costs us some bucks, well, too bad. This thing is beyond 31 days. I'm planning to have some friends for the rest of my life.
Right.
And that's just the way it's going to be.
Okay. So I think that I have an agreement with 4 gentlemen who are stand-up guys.
Well, one of them turned out to be a stand-up guy. I mean, so who exactly do you blame for your being here? Is there any one person? Terry?
Well, okay, can I just kind of run through this? Well, I think Sally outgamed me. I'm going to say that. Sally wanted it so bad, and she worked Austin, as you should, on Survivor for about a day and a half. So I think Sally outgamed me. I think Austin kind of went back on me just a little bit, but we can't really blame him for keeping the 27-year-old. Okay, so we're going to cut his leg on that.
Wait, why? Why? Because why? Because what are you saying here?
Closer to his age, you know, somebody to hang around with. So I'm not going to hold that against him.
Because I thought you both looked great out there.
Well,
I mean, if it was a matter of, you know, who looks great in a bikini, I mean, you were holding your own out
well,
there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But I think in the end, you know, Terry's calling the shots. So you could kind of hear last night where he was saying that, you know, it wasn't a handshake on his part, and you know, it's been a while, maybe since the 3rd grade I've heard that, but you know, it worked for him, so good for him.
Hey, Terry last night, speaking of which, he's on Exile Island. This is the big story, right? He's out there, and he's digging around. He's got 3 or 4 clues or what have you. He finds the idol.
I know.
He finds the immunity. Did you guys have any idea that he
I knew for certain he had the idol.
Really?
Yeah. I think probably everybody else did too. It was just too much jibber jabber the way he was explaining it. So, and no one was asking him directly, so I sort of sensed that everybody kind of knew. I could be wrong because I didn't discuss it with anybody, but I was pretty certain of it.
You guys, somebody in your tribe last night said, look, we're about 3 or 4 days away from not being able to lift our heads off the pillow. We have had no food for 11 days. You know, when was the last time you went 11 days without food? You guys were really, really weak.
Right, we were lethargic, but you would have been amazed. The minute those challenges started, it was like everybody had eaten and was ready to go. So it was pretty amazing. But I felt the same way. I thought we had 3 or 4 more days till it was going to get a lot ugly.
Did you like it? Did you have a good time?
Oh my gosh, Renee, it was the experience of a lifetime. And I've said this to people before. I've had many, many, many good experiences, you know, at my age. So it was amazing, truly amazing.
Was one of those experiences that you've had in your lifetime that is one of the great ones, being crowned the watermelon queen of 1978 in South Carolina?
Actually, that was one of the great experiences, for certain.
What now for you? I read somewhere that you want to run across country. Is that true?
I do. I was sort of working on this before I got cast for Survivor, so I'm going to continue pursuing it. But what I'd like to do is run across the United States, and folks have done that before.
Yeah.
But I would like to run at least a marathon a day and never ever get in a motorized vehicle.
26 miles a day,
at
and
least.
for 2.5 months?
Yes, that's what I like to do.
Wow. Wow. Well, listen, good luck with all that.
Thank you
because
so
you're on your own on
much.
that. Ruth Marie Milliman, it's so good to
nice
meet
to
you.
meet you.
And
Thank
you know,
you.
forget that older women thing, I didn't buy. Not at all.
I know.